The Canary Island of El Hierro, 50 kilometers long, is a quiet haven in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It is not for nothing that UNESCO has declared it a biosphere reserve. Here you will find natural pools and transparent waters, ideal for swimming and diving, as well as large areas of protected forest closer to the center. El Hierro stands out for its diversity. Its steep and rugged coastline of almost 100 kilometers is interrupted by several bays and natural lakes such as Charco Manso in the north or Charco Azul in the northwest. Thanks to the clear and very deep waters right off the coast, the island is recommended for diving enthusiasts. There are centers and schools where you can learn from scratch or improve your skills. In addition, these institutions organize trips to the most interesting underwater places. It is also a great place for outdoor sports. Paragliding, mountain biking, surfing, caving, hiking, and extreme sports are very popular here. The island has a contrasting landscape. In the interior, fertile fields and meadows, pine forests, subtropical vegetation, and impressive volcanic areas alternate. El Hierro has the most volcanoes of all the Canary Islands, more than 800. Some stand out for their beauty or size. El Hierro can be reached by sea or by air. The airport, located a few kilometers from the capital Valverde, receives and departs daily flights connecting the island with Tenerife and Gran Canaria. In addition, Tenerife can be reached via Puerto de la Estaca. As for volcanoes, according to the National Geographic Institute, there is currently no danger of volcanic or seismic activity on the island. The shores of the island are rocky, steep, rising sharply from the sea surface upwards, sometimes to a height of up to 1,000 meters. The border between land and sea is crisscrossed with numerous bays, concave into the island body and serving as natural pools inviting you to swim. Hierro is a growing island. Thanks to the occasionally awakening underwater volcano located nearby, the cliffs rise higher and higher. The volcanic activity of December 2013 added another 5.7 centimeters of height to this piece of Atlantic land. There are no sandy beaches on Hierro, but for diving enthusiasts, the sea depths, starting almost from the shore itself, are exactly what they have been looking for so long. For lovers of surface swimming, there are numerous natural pools formed as a result of lava movement many thousands and even millions of years ago. Charco Manso, Charco Azul, Charco del Pozo de las Calcosas, Charco de los Sargos, Charco de la Tabla. They say that this is an island of those colors: black from volcanic rocks, blue from the fresh Atlantic, green from vineyards and rare beauty of forests. According to the National Institute of Statistics of Spain, the population of Hierro is 10,690 people as of the 1st of January 2010. The largest settlement is the capital of the island, Valverde, where about 5,000 residents are concentrated. The constant movement of the tourist anthill of Hierro is not typical throughout its resort so far short. History: this piece of land lost in the ocean has been known as a paradise for the silent. The leisurely, sleepy lifestyle of the islanders perfectly harmonizes with the needs for silence and solitude of those who come here to switch off from the hustle and bustle and frantic work rhythms of modernity. The island's attractions primarily include the Club Punta Grande Hotel, information about which can even be found in the Guinness Book of Records. This hotel is the smallest in the world. On the island of Hierro, you can not only experience an exciting adventure on land and underwater, but also experience an indescribable feeling from the landscape that opens up when soaring at a bird's eye view, when the wind is your only ally. The trade winds and the relief of El Hierro allow paragliding on any day, so there is always the opportunity to see the island from an unusual side. And if you add to the excellent conditions the services of professional instructors who will constantly accompany you and provide the necessary equipment, then there is no excuse to miss such a chance. The only question left is, are you ready? Second place after Graciosa is taken by El Hierro. The protected area on this island of the archipelago is 58% and is also a biosphere reserve, which is part of the UNESCO Global Geoparks network. One of the attractions of the island of El Hierro is the La Dehesa forest. El Hierro, Canary Islands. It is here that the canary juniper grows, a tree with bizarre shapes. And on the lava of Cape Orquilla, you can see the westernmost lighthouse of Spain. In ancient times, the prime meridian passed through this place, and it was believed that this was where the edge of the world was.